Hello YouTube, I'm Wildman and welcome to the third video of part of WMB's Zero to Mirror adventure, which this one will be covering Atlas strategies I'll be employing. Technically not all of them, but we'll get to that. But anyway, as we're at 1 Divine and we'll just be starting out, the first one I'll be doing is Harvest. We're 2 months in. It's a great time to do Harvest. Should be profitable every single map. Like it'd be hard not to be. And since we're starting off with literally 0 currency and we'll be using random maps, for the first few, you know, maybe 10, but maybe not 10, maybe just like 5 or something. However it takes us to get like maybe 1 Divine in Life Force, get it out the exchange, get some materials in so we can buy some Scarabs and whatnot. We'll be using the Grove Chance instead of a Scarab or something, or Mapcraft, whatever it may be. We'll be doing just natural Atlas Chance and just basically taking all the harvest stuff. We'll be adding on Eater and Shrines, because since we're just starting out with no currency, we want to still kind of help ourselves with map sustain. We'll be taking all the map nodes, and Shrines are just a good way of adding natural mobs that'll also give us more maps. Other than that, it's basically just increased effective map modifiers, some quantity around here, and getting all the harvest stuff. Technically you could drop this if you know, the T4s really don't do that much. I think some people say against it, but I think we'll be fine if they do pop up. I don't think it'll really slow us down all that much, and if they do, we can just portal out, whatever. It's not a big deal. Technically, I could take these two. I think that'll be fine. I left a few Atlas points out because I kind of want to treat it like, yes, we got our 4 Atlas stones, but I'm gonna say like, oh, maybe we probably couldn't do the Feared, couldn't do Forgotten, couldn't do Hidden, maybe Twisted, but Elder Slayer's Informed is pretty easy in my opinion. So I think it'd be fair to say like, oh, we're missing like 5 or 6 Atlas points. You know, maybe was that Putrid Cloister, maybe that's a little pricey. There's a couple uniques this league, not too many that were like double-digit chaos. I think at Series Vault is actually like 25C this league. That I think maybe it's just because of the unique map challenge, but I don't know. That one was weird. But that'll be our first Atlas. Not too complicated. If you want me to go more in depth on it, I think after we're done with it and go on to the 30 Divine build, maybe I'll do a little strategy update video where I'm like, here's how Harvest at 1 Divine build went, and we can take a look at that, and maybe that's how I'll do it. But like I said, we'll be removing these and probably using a Harvest Scarab or Mapcraft. Maybe not. I'll kind of figure it out as I go, but this is just how we'll be starting, but it shouldn't really change too much. The only things of note would be like changing this for and adding Scarabs in. We'll be starting with no Scarabs at first and then adding them. It'll be like Monstrous Lineage, Harvested Doubling, maybe Risk. I don't know if we'll be able to handle that at a 1 Divine budget, so probably no Risk. We could do like Nemesis for more mods on monsters. We could just add in some fluff like Hunted Traders and just throw more guys in there. We could do more pack size of Influence packs for more Eldritch Altars. That's a possibility. You know, these are really cheap, not even 1 Chaos Scarabs. Like, really cheap stuff that we're just going to throw in. The main thing will be the Harvested Doubling. That one's pretty expensive. We might want to wait until we've got a little bit of money before we start throwing that one on it too. But not too much. When I say a little bit of money, I mean like couple divines. That's it. You know, not a bunch. But moving on to the next strategy we'll be doing, and this is a delirium tree where we've got shrines and we've got Nico. Those are just to make us more powerful because those maps are kind of hard. But shh, go away. Oh, and technically I said we wouldn't be selling uniques. Oh, I just forgot to remove these. Okay, pretend those weren't there. Oh, well, I put them here too. Shit. Pretend those aren't there either. I guess we'll have 8 points to spare. Maybe I just like take some quantity. That would be fine. Could go for some scarabs. There. Whatever. The last couple points really don't matter too much for this. But it's farming deli mirrors. Trying to get as much progress as we can. Getting that extra level. And this one I'm planning on doing it at the 30 divine budget. It could be a bit hard, but we can run this one really effectively on tier 8 tropical islands. So we'd have to self-farm our own tier 8 tropical island maps because we want 8 mod ones. But we can kind of do that with just the starting atlas tree for like just farming maps and just throw in the 8 mod scarab on that. But it throws in like the labyrinth. I'm not a big fan of these. I find it so, I forget to go and do them half the time. It's not even that they're bad. I forget to do them when they're there, so I don't even get anything out of them even when I should be. That it could be good for somebody else, but I leave it on there. But there's so many times like I have to go back and get that one, and then I open the next map and I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot. That's pretty much how these trials go for me. Then there's also, well, these are mandatory. You're taking these for delirium orb chance, and for scarabs we're using 4 paranoia, 1 mania every map. Just adds a bunch of rewards so that we're getting more deli orbs. I think we average about 6, 7 deli orbs. I've already farmed this one, so I'm pretty, not that I haven't farmed harvest. I farmed harvest too, but just not this league. But the paranoia strat, I have farmed this league. I haven't done it in tier 8, but that doesn't affect the deli orb drops. That only affects all the other stuff on top of it. So we should still be fine there. Same number of deli orbs, which is what we're going for the most part. You know, that's our main chunk of change, and that's pretty much it. You run it until you get to, I mean, I was doing level 8, and then you killed the map boss to get to level 9. But I think if it's going too slow, I think it'd be fine to do it at level 6, level 7, and then kill boss for level 7 or level 8. You know, if it's taking half the amount of time to run it that way than it is to get one more level, I'd rather do that. I like speed a lot more. And then we'll pretty much be doing that. We could go back and do harvest and do the crop rotation with Horn Scarab of Awakening. Do that, but I don't really think we'll need to. I think we could ride Delirium all the way until we do Alva at around the 600 divine budget. And if I get bored with Delirium, we can go back and do more harvest and kind of go back and forth. It's not like the Delirium one's better. It's just I think we need to be stronger to be able to do the Delirium, and Delirium has more potential for, if you do it really fast, you get the, you know, more profit per hour, whereas the harvest is like you have to wait for the plants to open and whatever. Like, it's got these built-in time barriers where it's like you can't speed up how fast it spawns the monsters. You have to wait for it. Whereas a Delirium, it's like if you can run that map faster, you'll be done faster. Like, the faster you do it, the more you make. So it has more potential for profiting off of your speed, I think, to me, than Harvest does. A little debating, but yeah, then we'll be doing Alva once we get to like 600 Divine budget build, once we switch over to our Blade Vortex, and we'll be throwing in like the ore deposit stuff, mainly just looking for Svalin. We're not interacting with King's March in the Zero to Mirror. I'm not using shipments. I'm not going to use mappers. The gold is only for currency exchange. I don't want to deal with King's March. So technically also the bismuth buffs the monster, you know, add an additional modifier and monsters they affect. So that's less for wanting bismuth ore and more for buffing up monsters, which all that kind of stuff's important for running the Alva strat, because it's gotten a little too popular. I think it's not the best strat at current prices, but we're going to do it anyway because our build's going to be really good for it. So even if it's really expensive, we'll be optimized to do it. So hopefully it's still worth it for us. And it's pretty hard for it not to be profitable at all. It'll just be like less profitable than it was when it got really, really popular. Potentially not though, because we'll be getting this in probably like not immediately. So maybe it gets less popular, less people are playing, less of the really big juicers are playing. So if less of them are playing, then the higher level strats actually become more lucrative. Whereas if the casuals stop playing, then the opposite happens. Yeah, like I said, I can go more in depth on these strategies after we do them, after I've gotten time that I can explain them as a real strategy guide, rather than this is just me telling you what I'm planning to do on my path to a mirror. But it'll be a lot easier to do it as an actual farm strategy guide once I've actually done it. And basically what I'll be tracking for currency in these is all going to be extremely liquid. In Harvest, we're going to be selling life force. We might get some scarabs here and there, we might get some raw currency, but we're really just going for life force. When we're doing deli, we might get some other stuff from the rewards. We'll get a decent number of stacked decks. We'll get some random scarabs and currency and we'll get some breach stones maybe. But we're really just going for deli orbs. That's what we care about. And when it comes to Alva, currency. It's currency. That's all we want. And then somewhere in here, somewhere like once we hit to 100 divines, I was saying in the build guide, the build video, we're gonna sell farm some temples for double corrupts, because we can make really good use of both the gem and the armor double corrupts. So I'm gonna sell farm some of those. So in here somewhere, I'll figure out a way to do Alpha for that. I mean, it'll probably be closer to this Atlas than the other two. But yeah, just some temple farming. Not really a profit strategy. Technically you could sell those, but I just want to use them, so we shouldn't really be making money doing that. We'll be losing a little bit because I'll be using them until I have the gear I want, and then I'll be happy. So I think that's all for the strategies, though. I don't want to make this longer than it has to be. So if I forgot anything, or if you have any questions or any recommendations, let me know. But this is my plan to get to a mirror. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching. See you next video.